Y'all, we are officially, as of today, halfway through 2023, and I thought that today's podcast episode would be the perfect opportunity for you to take a moment and reflect on whether you are where you wanted to be at this point in the year when we first started and set intentions for 2023. Or if you feel as though you've struggled this year with your manifestations and creating the reality that you wanted. And inside of this podcast episode, I'm going to give you my top 3 tips of how you can get back on track and still make 2023 the best year of your life. What's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show, the podcast that demystifies all of the nonsense that surrounds manifestation and gives you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, professional, and spiritual growth journey. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation and money mindset expert, and I'm so happy you're here. Let's fucking do this thing. So over the past few days, I have been coming to this place of reflection and realization of, holy shit, we are already halfway through 2023. And also just checking back in with myself of what were the intentions that I set for myself at the beginning of this year, and what was it that I was wanting to call in and manifest. And full honesty, full transparency here on the No Bullshit Manifestation Show, as always. But my top intention for this year was to really just follow my intuition and allow whatever the universe wanted to present to me to be presented. And also to really put myself out there to be able to attract in and manifest a partner into my life. And while I have been very consistent with one of those, there has been one that I have not, which is putting myself out there and meeting more men to call in and attract that perfect partner. And it's really just been a great opportunity for me the past few days to be able to check in with myself on what I have been doing and why I've resisted putting myself out there in ways that I haven't before to call this person in. And it also really just had me thinking about the fact that if I'm at this place, then I can almost guarantee that you listening to this podcast episode are in a similar position where maybe you have been consistent with some of your manifestations, you've been consistent with some of the things that you're wanting to attract in and call into your life, but there may be some areas of your life that you said to yourself that you were going to commit to and you haven't, or you are in the position that you just completely forgot about your intentions, your manifestations, what you're wanting to call into your life. And therefore, this podcast episode and the next 6 months of this year, you get to get back on track and recommit to yourself and to your manifestation. So, like I said in the intro to this podcast episode, I'm going to be giving you 3 tips of how you can check in with yourself and recommit to your manifestations, because let's also be honest, 6 months is plenty of time. 6 months is plenty of time for you to change your life and for you to manifest what you want into your life. And if you can fully take in all of the information that I'm going to give to you on this podcast episode and take the steps to really take the aligned action and commit to your manifestations, unconditionally pursue your manifestations, I can almost guarantee you that by the end of 2023, your life is going to look exponentially different, and it is going to align so much more with what your heart and soul is wanting you to follow and call into your life. So with that being said, we are going to dive into those 3 tips that I have for you. But before we do, I just want to remind you that enrollment is currently open for the Abundant AF Babe Academy, which is my signature online manifestation program that has been specifically designed to help you attract and manifest more freedom, fulfillment, abundance, and money into your life. And this is the exact process that I not only have done and taken in my life to manifest the life of my dreams over the past few years, but this is also the process that I've now walked over 300 women through and have helped them not only manifest what they wanted in that moment, but have now seen them completely sustain and create the most incredible lives since coming on board and being a part of this program. So if you are ready to truly commit to your manifestations, truly commit to changing your life and bettering every single aspect of it, up level in every single aspect of it, then you are going to want to join this round of the Abundant AF Babe Academy. You can click the link down below in the show notes to join this round of the Abundant AF Babe Academy. Once you're on the webpage, you can claim your spot directly from the webpage and you get instant access to the online portal. And then our group coaching calls will be starting in June once enrollment has closed. And the other thing to note with this is that the sooner that you join, the more access you get to me. Because as soon as you join, you get instant access and instant support from me inside of our private support community. And that's just such a powerful way to get the most out of this experience. So, like I said, the link to join is down below in the show notes. Get to the webpage. It's about halfway through where you'll find the different options to join the academy. And one more thing to note on this is that if you've been on the fence, if you've been thinking about joining the academy or coaching with me in any sort of capacity, but you are on the fence, you're not quite sure, you're not quite there yet, please know that you can also book in a free 20-minute consultation call with me, and we can have a conversation about whether this is the best and most supportive fit for you. There's literally no pressure to join whatsoever if you hop on one of those 20-minute consultation calls with me. But I want you to know that that is an option if you have been thinking about coaching with me, but you want to speak with me face to face before taking that leap of faith and making that commitment. So the link to book in a 20-minute free consultation call is also going to be down below in the show notes. And like I said, you can also just join directly from the webpage if you know that this is your thing and you're ready to go with it. But with all of that being said, let's actually dive into these 3 things that you can do to get back on track and recommit to your manifestations in 2023 to make it the best and most abundant year of your life thus far. So, first step, first tip in this, and this may feel obvious, but it has to be called out, is getting brutally honest with yourself. If you are not where you want to be in your life, in your finances, in your relationships, in the level of freedom that you have in your life, whatever it may be, there's something that is holding you back from being in that place, or there is something that is stopping you from being in that place. And in order for you to identify what that thing is and what needs to shift and change in order for you to get into a place of alignment with creating that reality, you must get brutally, and I mean brutally, honest with yourself. And this is something that I've experienced time and time again. Honestly, every single time I'm feeling frustrated or down or in a funk or whatever it may be, I always know it's because my intuition, my heart, my soul is trying to deliver some sort of message to me, but there's a subconscious part of me that doesn't want to acknowledge it because there's some sort of level of fear surrounding it. But at this place in my inner work journey and where I'm at with my manifestations, I've now been able to shorten the timeline of being in that funk or feeling those uncomfortable emotions and really just sit down with myself and get honest of like, what is my heart and soul trying to call me towards right now? What do I know is not working in my life right now? What do I know that I want that I'm not allowing myself to have? What am I continuing to do in my life right now that isn't supporting me, but I'm doing out of comfort? What are those things in your life that you know on some sort of level are not supporting or serving you? Or what do you know you want that you're not actively pursuing? Because when you can get brutally honest with yourself on those things and then start to take the steps slowly but surely to get to the place where you feel fully aligned and supported and excited about the decisions and the choices that you are making, then that puts you into a position where you are better suited to then go make those things your reality. And like I said, this is something, and I want to put this out there because I think that a lot of times we can beat ourselves up and be like, oh my gosh, why am I not getting what I want? Or think that manifestation is not real, or that the universe is out to get you, or whatever it may be. But in reality, this happens to everybody. This happens to me, like I said. And we don't have to allow it to affect us in a way that continues to keep us stuck and stagnant. You can get brutally honest with yourself and not have it mean anything bad, anything wrong, anything negative about yourself or about your life and what you're doing. You can make it as neutral as possible, and I encourage you to make it as neutral as possible, because then that just gives you the level of detachment that you need to be able to take the steps forward in a very supportive way. So just to rephrase that a little bit, a lot of the times when we recognize something isn't working in our lives, the go-to is to get frustrated, get mad, sad, whatever it may be, and think that there's something wrong with you, that you're not capable of doing what you wanted or committing to what you said you were going to commit to. But this happens to everybody. So instead of getting mad at yourself, instead of putting all of this fuel on the fire and creating this energy around it that doesn't need to be there, get brutally honest with yourself in the most neutral way possible. You don't have to be upset for the fact that you're not where you want to be right now. You don't have to be frustrated or any of those things. Take that energy away from it and really see it as like, okay, this is feedback. This is course correction. This is going to allow me to take steps forward in a way that I really want for myself. So instead of feeling bad about it, I'm going to celebrate the fact that I am choosing to be brutally honest with myself right now and course correct and get to a place that feels more aligned and supportive. So that is your first step. And this is something I talk about all the time on the podcast and also inside of my coaching containers, is that in order for things to change, we must recognize what needs to change. We cannot change what we're not willing to recognize and what we don't recognize. So this is the first step, and it's always going to be the first step, is taking that close look at what is working and what is not, and being brave enough and courageous enough to change what is not, as opposed to sticking with it and thinking that it's magically going to work itself out on its own. Because yes, the universe wants to support us. Yes, it wants to meet us halfway within our manifestations, but it meets us halfway within our manifestations. It's not just going to divinely come in and fix all of your problems or all of the things that are going on in your life that you're not fully stoked on. That's on you. And if you want your life to look radically different, you must take radical responsibility of those things in your life, taking full ownership so that you know that the power actually lies in your hands. And then from that position, being able to call on and be supported by universal intelligence to help make the manifestation process flow and be more aligned and supportive and easy to you. So that is your first, which at the end there, I kind of tied into the second one. But your second is learning to be connected to your body and to your intuition. And this is something that I have been talking a lot about on the podcast more recently. And it's because my life has just completely changed in the most incredible ways since I've been able to fully get to a place where I feel like this is the natural embodiment for me, which is being able to connect to those internal wisdoms that the body already has and that your intuition is calling you towards. So what do I mean by this? What I mean is that by the universal law of oneness, which states that everything is connected, that means that you have source energy inside of you. You have universal intelligence inside of you. And Oftentimes in today's day and age, we are so disconnected from our own internal wisdom because we've been conditioned and taught to believe that all of the wisdom that we need to acquire lives outside of ourselves. So we are constantly distracting ourselves with social media, and mainly just social media, but like Netflix, TV, all of the news, media, what is going on in other people's lives, all of these external things from ourselves, when in reality, everything that you need to manifest the life of your dreams exists and lives inside of you. Every single thing that you need to manifest the life that you desire for yourself lives and exists inside of you, right here and right now. And being able to reconnect to your body and to your intuition is what will allow you to completely collapse the timeline of where you are right now and getting to where you want to be. Being able to connect to your own inner wisdoms is like hands down the most important thing that you can do for yourself, because that allows you to operate from a place of trust and abundance as opposed to fear, lack, or scarcity. Because when we are so connected to ourselves and our intuition, there's no need to look externally from yourself for the validation or reassurance that you're on the right path, which I think that a lot of people get caught up in. And you really can just depend on yourself and what you know is true for you. And this is something I've said again a lot on the podcast, and I say it a lot inside of my coaching containers because it's so important to know and hear and really let resonate with you. But this is a muscle. Faith in yourself, in your body, in your intuition is a muscle. And muscles can only be built when pressure is applied. So a lot of the times when things aren't going the way that we want them to, or you want them to in your life, it's really easy to look at that situation and be like, oh, things aren't going right, I'm doing something wrong, or the universe is out to get me, or I just don't understand why I can't get the things that I want, whatever it may be. The stories that come up surrounding situations not going the way that you desire for them to go. But those situations are actually coming up because, one, there's experiences inside of them that you need in order to evolve and get to the place where you are the vibrational match for your manifestations. And two, they're also there because you are being given the opportunity to sink into that faith, into that trust, and into your intuition. That is the opportunity for you to apply that pressure that is going to strengthen that muscle so that you truly, in those moments, because they're always going to come up, are able to recenter into your intuition, into your body, and into your strength to continue to move forward, knowing that everything is always working out in your favor and that best case scenario gets to be the inevitable for your life. So instead of seeing anything that is going off of what you consider to be the path that you should be on as wrong or bad or negative or not going the way that it's supposed to, see those as opportunities to strengthen this muscle of faith, intuition, and connection to your body. Use them as opportunities to slow down, sink in, root into your body, and listen to the internal wisdoms that are coming up because your body already knows. And if you keep on getting the message of, I don't know, it's because your subconscious mind is trying to protect you from the truth that is actually there. And when you can, again, allow yourself to sit in that discomfort and sit in that pressure, it starts to subside and the clarity and the answers will appear. This is something that, again, I've experienced time and time again in my life. And it's so powerful to see that when I first started this journey of getting connected to my body and getting connected to my own internal wisdoms, it was so uncomfortable. It was like going to the gym for the first time and doing a really hard workout and walking out of there so sore. Now when it comes up, because I've built this muscle, it's like going to the gym and putting in easy reps that I've already done so many times and walking out of that gym with so much more energy and clarity and just really powerful and good feelings inside of my body. So know that I'm saying that because this is the reality for you as well. If you make connecting to your body and your intuition a priority, it may feel like a really hard, heavy workout at the beginning that leaves you sore and you are like, oh, fuck, I don't want to go back to the gym. But with the consistency and commitment to it and that willingness to put yourself into situations where you are depending and trusting your body and your intuition, you will get to the place where you can walk out of whatever situation and just be like, oh, like that felt good. That was nice. I'm glad I did that. And I feel really comfortable in doing this now. So that is your second, is learning to get connected to your body and to your intuition. And our third tip is not doing it alone. You don't have to be on this journey alone. And in fact, I encourage you to not do it alone. I didn't do this alone. And that's something I want to make very, very obvious if it hasn't already been on the No Bullshit Manifestation Show, as I've talked about how many coaches I've had and how many people I've worked with. I didn't do any of this alone. I didn't get to the life that I have now and the abundance that I have in my everyday life, the money that I have, the freedom that I have, the way that my life looks because I figured it all out on my own. I didn't. I have worked with coaches. I have worked with healers. I have worked with experts every single step of this journey. I have worked with them when it didn't make any logical or practical sense, when I didn't have the money to invest in them. I have worked with them when it did make sense, but I felt as though I could do it on my own and go it alone. I have worked with people every single step of this journey, and I know that that's why I've been able to create the level of success that I've created in my life over the past 3 years. Because there was no part of me that was like, okay, I'm gonna just totally figure this all out. And could I have figured it all out? Probably, but I wouldn't be where I am right now. It would have taken me exponentially longer, and it would have been, I think, way more messy and hard than it already was, because the reality is that we all have blind spots. There's things within ourselves that we just can't see until there's enough safety and comfort created inside of our physical bodies. And when you don't know how to do that, then it can be so challenging for you to actually up level in your life. And in addition to that, something that I really believe to be true is that the energy in which we put out is the energy that we get back. Obviously, law of attraction. But what I mean by that specifically in this situation is that when I was in different situations in my life, let's take it back to the example of like when I first started my intentional manifestation journey, I believe that me putting the energy, effort, money, and time into choosing to work with a manifestation coach is an energetic exchange that took me to the next level of my life. And then from that position, being able to invest in my next coach, I invested over $10,000 that I didn't have into working with my next coach, which then massively up-leveled me in my life to the place where I invested in my next coach, which was another $10,000+. And it's just been this incremental step up every single step of the way and every single level of this journey. And like I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those people, if it wasn't for my coaches, and if it wasn't for getting that guidance. And that's the power and the beauty and the reality of what you can have for yourself right here in this moment. There is an opportunity for you to go and find that person, whether it be me. And if you're listening to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show and you resonate with everything that I am saying, then I highly encourage you to connect to your body and see if it is me, because I know that if you come on board and join the Abundant AF Babe Academy, I can help you transform your life. But if it's not me, I encourage you to go find that person. I encourage you to find the coach, the healer, the expert, the teacher that can help you up level in your life in the ways that you're wanting to. And again, if it is me, there is no better time than right now for you to come on board and join the Abundant AF Babe Academy, because there are 6 months left in this year. There is still time for you to make 2023 the best and most abundant year of your life. But it's going to require you to get brutally honest with yourself, connect to your body, connect to your intuition, and to choose to be supported and guided on this journey in whatever way that looks like for you. And I'm so excited for all of you who choose to fully commit to yourself in that kind of way, because I know I say this a lot on the podcast too, but in order for you to live a life that you've never had, you have to do things that you've never done. You have to be willing to take that leap of faith and step into the unknown, even and especially when it doesn't make sense. Pursuing your manifestations unconditionally, because if you are constantly giving yourself conditions of why or why not you can or cannot have what you want in your life, then you're always going to be limited. But if you pursue your manifestations unconditionally and say that whatever it takes to get to the place that I want to be, I'm going to do it, then that is where the universe can come in and support you unconditionally in making that your reality. So, with that being said, that is all that I have for you on this podcast episode. But like I said in this podcast episode, do not do it alone. And if my message resonates with you, take this as your sign to commit to yourself, to invest in yourself, because you are the best possible thing that you can invest in. You are the thing that will get the best return on investment in your life. Take that step, take that leap, and join the Abundant AF Babe Academy. I am here to support you every single step of the way, and I know without a shadow of a doubt inside of myself that I can help you manifest what you want into your life. All you have to do is meet me halfway and meet the universe halfway by betting on yourself and choosing to invest in the academy. So, like I said, you can find the link to claim your spot inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy down below in the show notes. I hope to see you on board, and I am sending you all of my love. I will chat with you on the next podcast episode.